Good morning, children. This week I'm continuing the previous topic of coordinate geometry, and this week we are going to study that how we can find out the solution of any two linear simultaneous equation graphically, and we are also going to learn that how we can find out the slope, angle of inclination, and the y-intercept. So the first question that I've taken over here for this week is determine the slope and the inclination, that is the angle of inclination, with the positive direction of the x-axis for the line graph or of each of the following. Children, in this question we have to find out the slope as well as the angle of inclination. So the first equation that is given to us is 3y is equal to root 3 x plus 1. So first of all, we are going to make y as the subject, and for that what we are going to do, we are going to cross multiply this 3 on the other side, and as you can see now the equation will be y is equal to root 3x plus 1 upon 3. Now we are going to split the numerator, which has got two terms in it, with this common denominator, and now the equation will become y is equal to root 3 upon 3x plus 1 upon 3, because they were having a common denominator 3. Now, as you must have studied in the notes part, that whenever you make any linear equation into this pattern, into this format, that is y is equal to mx plus c, then that the coefficient which is related with x, that is your slope. It is represented by m, and c is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means the point where the straight line meets on the y-axis. So from this simplification we can get that in place of c in this given equation we have got the value as 1 by 3. That means the y-intercept is 1 by 3. And as far as slope is concerned, so that slope value will be root 3 upon 3. But we are going to simplify that because we have to find out the angle of inclination also. So I have written m, which is a symbol for representing the slope, is root 3 upon 3. And in order to simplify, I have multiplied the numerator as well as the denominator both by root 3. So in the numerator you are going to get root 3 into root 3, 3. And in the denominator you will be getting 3 root 3. Now in this 3 and 3 will be cancelled. What is left with us? That is just 1 upon root 3. So the final answer, the slope, is 1 upon root 3, and y-intercept, which they haven't asked, but still I am telling you that y-intercept, which is represented by the symbol c, is having the value as 1 by 3. Again I am repeating, y-intercept is the point where the straight line meets the y-axis. Now children, we have to find out the angle of inclination also. So for that what we are going to do, as we know that the value of slope, that is m, is equal to tan theta. So in place of m, if we are going to substitute the value as 1 upon root 3 is equal to tan theta, and as we know that tan 30 degree is having the value as 1 by root 3. That means theta, that is the angle of inclination. Angle of inclination is represented by theta. Theta is having the value as 30. In this way we can get the answer of the first part. Now if you see the second part of that same question, in which the equation is different, where it says x is equal to y plus 2. So what I've done over here, again I have made y as the subject, and for that I have transposed this 2 on the other side. So now the equation has become x minus 2 is equal to y. That means y is equal to x minus 2. In this way you can also write. Now since we know that whenever a linear equation is given to us, we always change that linear equation by making y as the subject, and the general form is in this pattern, that is y is equal to mx plus c. So after making the given equation into this format where we have changed it y as a subject, as I told you earlier that the coefficient which is attached to x, that represents the slope. Now in this, there is no such coefficient. So by default, if there is no such coefficient related to x, that means the coefficient is 1. That means the value of m will be 1. And now from this value of m, we are going to find out the angle of inclination also. One more thing I want to add in this, that is, as you know, when we convert the linear equation in this particular format, y is equal to mx plus c, in this c is the y-intercept. That means the point at which the line is going to meet the y-axis. So in place of c, you can see we are getting the value as -2. That means in this particular part of this question, the y-intercept is -2. Now for taking out the angle of inclination, as you know, the value of slope is coming out to be 1. And we know that slope, which is represented by m, is also equal to tan theta. So if we are going to substitute the value of m as 1 is equal to tan theta, and we know this thing that tan 45 degrees is having the value 1. That means the angle of inclination, which is represented by theta, is having the value as a 45 degree. In this way we can get the answer.